Caught one. Even involves a slow hand clap. My autistic boy was having a meltdown this morning. I came and diffused the situation and calmed him down in seconds. My class were stunned into silence, and then a slow clap started. Then the boy nearest to me whispered, "How does she do that? You couldn't make this stuff up." Well, I think you can, because hello Redditors of the internet, Noble Xenon here, and welcome to r/ThatHappened, part 12. Let's get started. So, this next one's just titled, Right. I work for only 10 to 15 hours a week, but get paid for 60 hours. Wouldn't that be nice? I started a new job last year and figured out that I can get the job done in 2 to 3 hours a day. Was originally scheduled for 40 hours, but I told them I need 20 more hours of overtime just to make sure everything runs smoothly. Now I get paid for 60 hours a week and work between 10 to 15 hours a week. I even feel very, very good about it. The system is made to destroy the average person. This is the least I can do to escape. There is no way I will be a slave for the rest of my life. Will try and game the system every time I can. Is this another anti-work post? This next one, yeah, it's true, I'm Brad Pitt. Alright, so my girl works as a costumer for major film productions, and I had a feeling she was being sneaky a few months back, so I looked at her snap and she had been sending nudes to some dude, and it was Brad friggin' Pitt. Like deadass Brad Pitt. So screw that dude, but yeah, blew my mind, but it's all good in the hood. So you gonna remain a bee and ignore it? Nah, so we're long distance, so I just smashed a chick at my dog park and now I'm over it. She's finna get me a job working in film, so I'm just gonna get that job and then she can do whatever. For this next one, that kid turned out to be Warren Buffett. I'm a high school math teacher. After class, a student showed me his list of 5 goals for 5 years from now. On that list was buy a new 2026 Honda CR-V. I got all Papa Dave on him and started talking about car payments, house payments, baby steps, credit cards, and retirement. Papa Dave as in Dave Ramsey? Anyway, I talked about compound interest, how Roth IRAs work, and showed him how much money he could have at retirement if he started investing early. The conversation ended with him saying, "Wait, is this legal? Do people know about this?" Probably the best conversation I've had with a kid this year. He walked out of my room and ordered a copy of Total Money Makeover. So proud. Now for the email from the parents telling me to stick to my subject area. Yeah, that confirms it. Sounds like they're just trying to sell a book here. For this next one, yeah, that definitely happened. Someone broke into my home once and was in my kitchen. I said, "What are you doing, mate? Think you're in the wrong house." He grabbed a butter knife and I said, "Mate, that's a butter knife. I'm not a piece of toast." He stood there for a minute, said, "Sorry, wrong house," and walked out the door. OMG, no one died and I didn't have to shoot anyone. What insanity is this? Oh, that insanity. For this next one, yes, this is totally something that happens in real life, 100%. It is one thing to, quote, identify as something trendy. It is another thing entirely to live the life it entails. Both my parents were gay. So were my aunt and one uncle and all the friends and extended family. It was so pervasive that my cousin and his wife identified as poly. Despite being faithful to each other and devoted parents to their 3 children, my brothers and I all felt intense pressure to be gay. What? Or at least to identify as, quote, bi. Why are bi and poly in quotes, I wonder? I finally came out of the closet as straight when I turned 18, and my parents were furious, especially my father. Don't underestimate social contagion. This person is treating being gay like a virus, like it spreads or something. That's not how it works. For this next one, Popsicle Cat. Totally realistic grocery store, comedy gold. Oh my god, I'm at the grocery store and there's a guy in the frozen section who is tweaked off his balls on some kind of hallucinatory drug. I'm in the next aisle meowing softly through cereal boxes where he can't see me and he is losing his shit, pulling pizza boxes out of the freezers and yelling that he needs to save the Popsicle Cat. Am I a bad person for making up stories? And now we have a 34-year-old male willing to share, quote, proof. So for the people that know me, yes, I have an ego somewhat. What I found out didn't help that. Found out my girl's hip is bruised and the doctor told her it was from doing it rough. Welp. And of course most people reply with laughing reactions, so if I had proof, then what? Yet she enjoys the hell out of it, so I don't know. This dude thinks he's some sort of giga chad. For this next one, of course they do, Teddy. Senator Ted Cruz, during meeting with DC trucker convoy, almost without exception, every time I'm on an airplane, either with the captain or a flight attendant will come up to me, will hug me and say, "Thank you for fighting for us." Yeah, I'm sure every person on that plane gives you a standing ovation when you come in. And now we have an intellectual so intelligent that they can be tracked by intelligence itself. 3 hours ago, someone found where I live because I argued like Einstein. How did Einstein even argue? I don't know. And then, every woman on Earth clapped. Amazing moment just happened in Tesco. Got asked if I've wished anyone a happy Women's Day yet, and I said no. Paused, then said, because every day is Women's Day for me. They all started clapping me, but I walked off because I don't do it for praise or female attention. That's why I posted on Twitter, so I can get everyone's attention, not just females. Hey, if you're enjoying this, then why not hit that like button? If you want to see more, subscribe and hit that little notification bell, and comment if you have something on your mind. This next one definitely all happened in 5 hours. Look at all those updates and edits. Update, a very kind Redditor has told me I can still press charges. I looked it up, and that's true. I have decided that I do want to be thrown into the legal world. I will be reaching out and seeing what I can do. I'll keep you guys updated, and that they do, because, update 2, that was fast. I'm still able to press charges confirmed. I have to go to the police station. I'm getting ready to go now. Update 3, she was called into the station as well and flipped out. She is denying this, I guess. According to a police officer who reached out to me, I guess I'll be going to court. I'm still figuring this out. I guess I'll see. Update 4, she's been charged. With some legal help from the previously mentioned officer, she got charged for assaulting me. Not sure if she's been arrested, but we got her. Update 5, she got arrested. Let's go! Edit, grammar. Edit 2, I had to change some time statements because I didn't have enough karma for the first time and I just loaded the draft. Edit 3, holy friggin' shit, this blew up. Thanks for the awards and support, love you all. Of course, the obligatory award speech. Edit 4, holy shit, thanks for the gold. A true Reddit moment right there. They got the whole timeline laid out for us. For this next one, as a math teacher, I can say that this is false in so many ways. My teachers told me I was using the wrong formulas my entire school career, then accused me of cheating, because they couldn't figure out how my answers were always right. It wasn't until I was 16 that one of my math teachers realized that I'd created my own formula that was just as efficient and effective as the standardized methods. Watch out, we got a genius who can create their own formulas. For this next one, whatever this is, I just spat on a 45-year-old white woman on the subway for calling me the N-word and got a standing ovation. God, I love Toronto. For this next one, my bosses did this all the time. On r/anti-work, my boss hates the fact that I have a life outside of work. Earlier this week, my boss Rick calls me into his office to have a talk with me. I walk into his office and Rick says we need to talk about my Instagram account. I'm confused since there's nothing obscene or inappropriate, so I ask him what the deal is. Rick tells me there are too many pictures of me engaged in leisurely activities like hanging out at the beach or hiking, etc. He can see I'm confused and angrily explains that if any of our clients were to see that, they would get the impression that I only care about life outside of work. Rick then throws a sticky notepad at me and demands I write down the username and password so he can make adjustments to my account. What? That is a huge breach of privacy, you know? I tell Rick I can't do that. Rick gets angry and tells me I can't leave till I do. So I write down a fake link and password and get the heck out of there. I'm now sitting in my car typing this waiting for the fallout. And by the way, the individual who posted this also had a story right before this about his boss. A different boss, mind you, showing up at a funeral and screaming for 10 minutes at the dead body for not showing up for work. He's writing crappy fanfiction. Oh yeah, that's just weird. For this next one, take your humiliation kink somewhere else, please. I bullied a 13-year-old when I was 15 years old 5 years ago. 5 years ago when I was 15, I bullied a 13-year-old girl by calling her fat. She wasn't. and I broke her phone screen. A few days later, she told her mother about what I did, and her mother contacted my mother, and she came to the house to get me to stop. My mother did not tell me the girl and her mother had arrived, and I was still in the shower. When I came out of the bathroom, my mother told me to apologize to the girl, and I told her I would after I get dressed, as I had a towel wrapped around me. The girl and her mother heard me, came into the hall, and her mother said boys should never bully girls, and the girl yanked my towel off and I had to apologize to her naked. My mother made me pay for the phone screen. What in the world? For this next one, do not tell your mother. I was 6 years old when watched my dad beat some guy's asses who was breaking into his car. My dad is a civilized guy until you piss him off, and his #1 hot button is thieves. We were leaving an Oakland A's game and he parked a ways from the stadium. We were just about to the car when my dad saw 2 guys, one in the car and one keeping watch. He ran right up to the guy keeping watch and smashed his face so hard the crunch sounded like a carton of eggs being stomped on. The guy immediately was knocked out and hit the ground as if he was thrown into it. My dad then ripped the other dude out of the car by his feet, picked the guy up by his neck and began to smash his face over and over into a newspaper vending machine we parked next to. He must have smashed the guy's face at least 20 times until he decided he had more than enough. He turned and told me to get in the car and I wasn't gonna argue with him. He let the guy go and dropped him where he stood. I remember the guy's blood covering the side of the box. The other guy's blood was pooled all around him. On the way home, he turned to me and said, "Do not tell your mother, or else." Do not tell your mother's got to be the daddest part of the story. Oh, this one's also gotta go on r/I'm very badass. Or r/my dad is very badass, I guess. For this next one, that one time I yelled at my teacher for no reason but to inflate my ego? Yeah, good times. My phone went off in class once and the teacher said to answer it on speaker. I just said, "No thanks," ended the call, and after 2 minutes of him just staring at me, I said, "Stop wasting everyone's time, move on." Like, what the hell are you gonna do? It wasn't brought up again. And now let's add this to the incredibly huge list of things that definitely happened. This morning, my candidate arrived for his 9:30 interview at 8:13. He was interviewing for an entry-level role, but we were so impressed that the hiring leader decided to offer him a lead position on the spot. The candidate began to cry tears of pure joy when we told him his starting pay. It was such a moment. Amazing, I know. He then explained that his tears were a result of so much pain and disappointment from his current job, and this career advancement would change his life. Sometimes as a recruiter, it can be difficult to see the impact that I'm making. It's so easy to become discouraged when a star candidate turns down an offer, or when I can't even find a candidate for a critical role. Well, this morning, I received that validation. I played a part in making someone's life better. That's pretty cool. And that story is so true, it got posted again in a whole different font. Amazing! For this next one, people were in absolute disbelief. This happened to me in my digital electronics class. It was to find out the output signal or something. The option C looked very creepy and no one realized it was the correct wave. When I answered C, my teacher, just for fun, asked, "You even got C?" and my classmates laughed. But as it was crystal clear to me, I said C again, nodding my head vigorously. Then he started explaining, and when it ended with the answer C, the same people looked at me with disbelief. I can't express how proud and happy I felt then. Cool sunglasses emoji and grinning emoji. And a hilarious comment, person picks correct answer choice on multiple choice test. Cue victorious awards music, thunderous applause, corporate sponsorship offers flooding in, phone numbers being given out shamelessly by dead sexy people, encomiums to the staggering intellect on display, and just general ask history for this super genius. And even Harvard gave this guy a scholarship. Amazing. And now we go to r/mildly infuriating. Always lying and people just eat it up. We ordered steak from a restaurant and got a pound of half-frozen meat. Do you know how easy this is to fake? And for this next one, can confirm, I was the fist bump. Had a confrontation in Target today. Before reading this, please know I'm a very nice person. Usually. A nice person, you say. My due date is this week and today was my second day of maternity leave. I went to Target today for nail polish so I can give myself a manicure. At this point, all that fits are my fiance's pajamas pants, so that's what I wore to Target. While in line, I hear a woman talking to her friend about me and what I was wearing. She was judging my pajamas pants, they had bears, so cute, and why I was wearing pajamas at 1 p.m. This is what happened next. Me, excuse me, but do you have something you want to say to me? Woman, in shock. Me, well, I heard you talking about my pajamas pants and I just wanted to tell you that these pants are all that fit me right now since I'm almost 10 months pregnant and looks around for children. You can F off. The man behind me in line fist bumped me. Some people, let me tell ya. This next one lost friends because of this. When I decided to ditch sugar and carbs, I lost half of my friends. Well, then they weren't really your friends then if they're gonna stop being friends because of that. I decided to train 4 times a week. I lost another half of that half. When I decided to stay indoors on weekends and avoided partying, I lost one more half of the remaining. I can count real friends on one hand now. Well, damn, if your friends just keep dividing in half like that, you'll be left with just a severed head for a friend. For this next one, can the witnesses come in to call out the BS? Last weekend, I went into an Atlanta coffee shop right after Ryan Reynolds had been there, literally adding him. The staff was still so flustered, they got my order wrong, but I'm Canadian, so I drank it, curious if they got his order wrong too, and Ryan Reynolds himself replies, I don't think they got my order wrong, partly because I always order a really simple black coffee, but mainly because I wasn't in Atlanta. Okay, this is why you don't at people if you're making shit up. It never works out for you in the end. And now we got a MAGA man who gets all the liberal chicks, liberal women and dating. Why don't any liberals lift weights or do any exercise at all? Have any of you noticed that? They're all obese, balding, and weak. Liberal, quote, men are too preoccupied with doing their Bing Bing Wahoo child games on their Nintendo Switches, collecting a welfare check. Meanwhile, we're busting our butts off at work, making families, and living life as God intended. Seriously, I can't describe how pathetic it is. I remember in college, by the way, it's a myth that more liberals are college educated. It would be every other week I'd have a chick in my room who was cheating on her melted candle physique boyfriend. They just wanted to try being with a real man for once, I suppose. Usually they beg me to F, don't swear online for moral reasons, which in this case is just censoring one letter. Them again for subsequent nights, but I usually decline because I don't like liberal women. Too few showers, too colorful hair, too attention-seeking, etc. I just wanted to ruin their relationships as a message. This was during 2015 to 2018, so I brazenly wore my MAGA hat in the main quad. So these women knew what I was about. Had to make sure the condom was intact a few times. These women get desperate for the seed of a young conservative man. What the hell is this, some sort of conservative fantasy? Anyway, it's just so weird. Once these chicks get some decent D in them, they forget all about feminism, LGBT crap, climate change, Bernie Sanders, whatever, and they mold to you. It's obvious that they didn't have father figures growing up, because of how quickly they dropped their quote values. Oh, and the quote men, lol. Basically, to get their girlfriends to come over to my place, all I really have to do is bully their boyfriends a little bit. I'll physically push them, fart in their face, insult them, and let them have it if they try to joke back. Wait, what? Fart in their face? What kind of power fantasy is this? If I'm feeling nice, I'll just challenge them on leftist talking points and listen to them sputter and get mad that they can't beat me logically. Unfortunate class attribute of the liberal. I make myself the alpha of the situation, basically. Probably because this dude is far too aggressive to be a sigma. Not hard to do if you are not a weak new male, whatever that is. This whole thing is just ridiculous. This next one just gets dumber and dumber by the sentence. When I moved to LA, I was a waitress. A customer walked out on his check. I chased and tackled him. We crashed through the restaurant glass doors. An off-duty cop at the bar arrested him. The guy was a wanted bank robber and did unspeakable things to children. My boss fired me for having a bad attitude. For this next one, not just to the women but to the baby? Sarcasm. One time I was going out to eat and there's a daycare right next to the restaurant. So when I was walking up to the restaurant, I saw 2 babies crawling in the daycare. So I flipped both of them off and then heard a woman scream, "You're gonna do that to a baby?" and then proceeded to smile and go into the restaurant. As I left, 2 women in the daycare stared me down, so I chose to stare at them and smile until they became uncomfortable and looked the other way. F them kids. This next one was totally not written by a member of the company management as an advertisement, right? Ordered a pizza from Domino's at 2:30 a.m. Delivery valet soon arrived. "Making you work late during this chilly weather? Must be frustrating," I asked him. "Domino's midnight delivery has enabled me study for military exams in the day and earn bread for my family in the night, so I'm rather very thankful to them," he happily said. My thoughts suddenly changed, and my heart instantly filled up with respect for him. So much to learn about determination and appreciation from him. Appreciation, one of the most underrated things in today's work culture. By the way, we're hiring, so apply today. For this next one, oh no! Decaf! What are we gonna do? I ordered decaf at a Starbucks once and the whole place practically imploded. Employees were confused. I had to stand off to the side. It took 3 of them 20 minutes before it was finally handed to me. Pardon me for not wanting a caffeine addiction. You're exaggerating so goddamn hard right now. Every single Starbucks anywhere has both regular and decaf brewed at all times. Did you actually think anyone was gonna believe this? Nice ratio, by the way. And we continue on the topic of Starbucks. We want to present you with this pastry. On behalf of the queer staff of this Starbucks, we love your whole outfit and energy and want to present you with this pastry with a lot of crying emojis. Oh my god. Like 3 rows of them. Just happened to me. In my mind. Moving on to this last one titled, "Did everybody clap? My cousin asked me to teach her how to use power tools. She's 23. Obviously, it's very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. She told me to stop mansplaining and even got angry at me for telling her to put her hair in a tight bun, saying I couldn't tell her how to look or have her hair. I gladly gave her my high-powered drill and watched her put her face right next to the screw to line it up and proceeded to tear a massive clump of her hair straight out of her head. I left her there screaming till she apologized to me, handed her a knife and told her to sort her own shit out and never come to me for help again, and that got 46 upvotes, including the person who posted this for some reason. Anyway, I'd like to thank all of my patrons, especially Nightcrawler, Catalan, Cormetti, Bacon Cat, Spoonie the Rogue, Vengements, and a jury of jubilantly juggling Jerrys. You can join in the link below, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. If you have something interesting to say, don't forget to comment. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. See you guys next time.